I don't remember Grandma at all.
No, you wouldn't.
Can anybody shed a little light on her a little bit? You know, what kind of person she was, or what you remember of her the most, or?
She was quite chubby. I remember she used to wear a girdle, and whenever she would hug me, I could feel that. For some reason, as a kid, I remember that. And I used the term religious. I don't like that term. I don't think it connotes the right thing.
She wasn't fanatical.
A godly person?
Oh, very godly. Yeah. She insisted.
She wasn't fanatical.
Let me tell you a story that she told me. She said the day that Dad died was a Sunday, and she, I think, told the oldest of the family. She got up real early in the morning, and she woke up. Whoever was the oldest said, "Now make sure you get the kids to church. I'm gonna go down to the church and pray."
All right, Uncle.
But she said she went down to the church and just prayed for Dad. About 8 o'clock in the morning, she got up and went to church. It was over, and he died about that same time. So we wonder, whether Dad is in heaven or not. That seems possible.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, that's a theological position.
Yeah.
Do you believe in a death, burial, and compassion?
Yeah.
Some people don't. But that was an interesting story.
Yeah.
And then we got a telegram.
I think Norma got it. She lived in L.A. at that time.
Yeah.
She called us.
Well, we didn't have a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called somebody, and they told us somebody went to a payphone and called her back. And
I know we got a letter
Yeah.
from the hospital that he was in. And I got a copy of that letter somewhere. They wanted to know who was going to pay the bill, basically. Because he was there and he was dying, and better get him around early.
Oh, so he wasn't, he was in a hospital, he died in a hospital. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because the hospital was trying to get somebody to foot the bill, pay the bill. And, I don't know who ever paid it. We were all kids.
Yeah, I think Clifford, Mom's brother Clifford, that had the cheese factory.
There was an
He
uncle
put up
after
some Uncle Clifford.
that was at the funeral.
At the funeral.
And
He
he
came
can't
to the
believe he
funeral.
kind of took over.
So his mom was at the funeral too.
I didn't remember that.
The story goes, when
Robert,
he was in
Robert,
the
come here.
hospital, they were trying to find out, well, are you married? Do you have kids? And he remembered Ronald and Virgil, but he didn't remember the two of us. Now, he was dying and in bad shape. And he was a character.
There wasn't nothing he couldn't do. He was like a jack of all trades. He could stay sober long enough to do it.
I remember, the one thing I remember about him is we were living where I was born, I believe it was, in Monroe, and he was driving, he would take officers' trailers and drive them around his area, and he'd let me ride in the trailer, which was against the law, of course, but he'd let me ride in the trailer. You and I think we were up there looking out, I remember that. But, he was quite a character.
Okay, Trent, let's start with Ronald.
Yeah, I got a question for all four of you. At some point in time, in your life when you kind of start becoming into your own, you become a man, you leave the nest and you go off and you kind of start your own life. If each of you could kind of just give a few minutes about what that, how that was when you guys left and what you did, where you went, just kind of a little history once you left the nest of you know, what took you out in the world? Where'd you go and what'd you do?
Start, Ronald.
He was next.
No, I couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
After you left Mom and the family and you went to start your life, kind of what did you do and where did you go and
what did I do?
Yeah.
Oh, of course I got married to Ronnie's mother, and then we moved to San Francisco, and I worked at American Can Company. And then from there we went to Los Angeles, and then I went to work for Douglas Aircraft. And I worked there 8 years, and worked part-time in tree work, trimming trees, cutting trees, whatever. And that's about it. I mean, then of course I got involved in operating. Became a supervisor for 20 years. Kind of short, isn't it?
Yeah. That was from Bragg Crane? Bragg Crane? You retired from Bragg?
Crane,
Yeah.
Our division is called Pressy Coke Handling.
Yeah.
We've done, you know, petroleum coke, loaded ships and so on, screen.
So Dad, when you left the house, was it to go do the army? Is that when you took off?
Well,
when you left the nest finally?
when Mother was still living in California, and she met Walt. Walt came down and visited her, and they got off pretty well. And she wanted to move to Idaho and marry Walt, and I'm still at home when I'm 18. And I knew that as long as I stayed there, she wasn't going to go. So I moved out. I rented a trailer right on Hawthorne Boulevard, you know, a little tiny trailer. And then we took her to Idaho and met Mercury of yours. And you know, her life went on, and you know, I went on. I was only 18, but I worked at Douglas at that time, and then got drafted and spent 2 years, 11 months, 3 hours and 10 minutes in the Army. Loved every minute of it.
Oh yeah.
Loved every I was in the Army infantry. I was a heavy weapons gunner. 81 millimeter mortar. They're still using them today.
And you were...
Take that bomb and drop it on top of it.
That's the tank bombers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gets the tank.
And you were...
They had little, we called them sugar packets. And the more packets you put on the edges of the bomb, the further it would go. So your goal was to get that thing to hit the enemy. And you got so many variables.
Yeah.
But there was a pretty powerful weapon. And I drove Korea. I was actually a truck driver.
Now, he never saw any
After
action.
Korea.
And you were stationed in Hawaii for a while, weren't you?
I was there for 18 months, yeah. That's
What did you do there? Was that more training or?
No, I was just in an infantry squad.
Okay.
Running I wasn't, you know, just a spec boy. That's all I ever got. That's all I ever wanted.
Now, while you were in the Army, is that when you met Mom?
No, we met Mom when we first moved to Southern California. She was going to that Assembly of God church. And I think Connor found that church and we started going there. So she was like 6th grade. When I was in the Army, we weren't the best of friends, but I started writing letters to her, and I was surprised that she actually answered. And we did corresponded for 2 years.
Huh.
And, but it was Hawaii was nice. I hated the Army. You weren't too thrilled with it in Germany either, were you? But too political for me. And then later, after I got out of the Army, I went to work for Chevron as a mailman and worked there for 38 years. And I was a manager when I got out. So you know, Chevron treated me very well. And I had it one kind of good retirement. Unfortunately, I'm afraid Mr. Obama's going to take it away from me.